Hi-ho, salty kids. Welcome back. So last week, we started talking about Moses, which he wasn't Moses at this time. Remember, he was just a baby. And his mother had created a basket and put him in the Nile River to keep him safe. And his sister stood watching. So this is where we're going to pick up. You see, Moses, at the time, just the baby, he was found by Pharaoh's daughter. And Pharaoh's daughter took him out of the Nile River, and actually, Moses' mother got to nurse him until he became old enough. And then once he was old enough, he was brought back to the palace, and she adopted him as her own. And she gave him the name Moses, meaning taken out of the river. So Moses grew up Egyptian. But remember, he was really an Israelite. He was born to an Israelite woman. We're picking up in Exodus chapter 2, verse 11. Moses grew up and became a man. One day, he visited his people, which his people were really the Israelites. And he saw that they were being forced to work very hard. And he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew man, one of Moses' own people. So Moses looked around, and when he saw that no one was watching, he killed the Egyptian and hid his body. You see, Moses knew that these were his people, and he got upset. But then he got afraid because he had committed murder. So he ran, and he ran to Midian. And there in Midian, he met his wife, and he got married, and he tried to forget everything that was going on in Egypt. He tried to forget where he had come from. He tried to live as a Midianite. But one day, after a long time, verse 23, the king died, and the people of Israel groaned because they were forced to work very hard. When they cried for help, God heard them. He heard their cries, and he remembered the agreement he had made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He saw the troubles of the people of Israel, and he was concerned. When you're in a rough situation, God knows what you're going through. He sees you. He is concerned about you. That's how he felt about the Israelites. So God had a plan. Remember, for this little boy who was supposed to already be dead, God had a plan for him. One day, Moses was taking care of the flock. When Moses led the flock to the west side of the desert, he came to Mount Sinai, the mountain of God. And there the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire coming out of a bush. Moses saw that the bush was on fire, but it was not burning up. So he said, "Let me go closer to this strange thing. How can this bush continue to burn without burning up?" When the Lord saw Moses coming to look at the bush, God called him from the bush, "Moses, Moses." And Moses said, "Here I am." Then God said, "Do not come any closer. Take off your sandals because you are standing on holy ground." See, in those days, it was custom. If you were giving up your rights to someone, you would take off your shoe and give it to that person. It was a symbol of your rights, saying, "I am no longer this. I am something else." Taking off your shoes was a symbol that you were done with your old self and beginning a new self. And so, remember, at this time, he had been adopted Egyptian, and now he was living as a Midianite. But really, his roots were Hebrew. He was an Israelite. So not only was he on holy ground, but he had to show that he gave up his rights as an Egyptian. He gave up his rights as a Midianite. He was going to take on being the Hebrew, the Israelite that God had chosen for his people. So God came to him because he wanted Moses to go back to Egypt to free the Israelites from slavery. All right, guys, so today we are learning about that burning bush, and Moses heard God's voice in the burning bush. And so today we're going to learn about sound, how you can't see it, but we have to know that it's there. Moses couldn't see God, but he knew exactly who was speaking to him and what he needed to do. So you have a cup and it's got some tape on it, okay? The tape is for you to use when we set it up. You also have a baggie with a piece of saran wrap. Be careful as you're opening it. Not to get cut. So be careful because the CD part is sharp. But what you're going to do is you're going to take your cup and you want to put the CD where it's right in the middle of your cup. And you're going to use your rubber band to twist it around and keep it. You want it to be very tight. So pull it tightly so that it's stretched out. And then you can cut off the excess saran wrap. You won't need it anymore. And then you're also going to cut the cup. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just be careful when you do cut the cup that you don't make it super sharp and cut yourself. But you want your saran wrap to be tight. And you need a hole in the back. All right, so let's go set it up. You're going to need your speaker, your tape, your cup, and your laser. Okay, so now that you have your cup, remember, make sure that it's tight, and you have your speaker, what you're going to do is you want to face it towards a blank wall or an empty wall. And you're going to put it in front of the speaker, and you're going to use some of the tape. You're going to use a piece of tape, a pretty long one, to tape it down in front of your speaker. Okay, then what you want to do, you have your laser and you have the light. You want to tape it down where your laser stays on. So hold the button down and you have to keep wrapping it, otherwise it won't stay on. Wrap it really good, really nice and tight. Okay, wrap it around your laser so that it stays on. Then what you're going to do is on the table in front of you, you need to point it at the CD where it's going to bounce off and hit the wall behind you. So we're going to take the rest of your tape and tape it down to the table. So once you have that set up, you're going to go ahead and turn off the lights. Okay, so it takes a little bit, but once you get the laser where it's pointing at the CD, it's going to reflect back to your blank wall. Now, we're going to start playing a song, and it's about to get really, really loud. And we're going to see what happens to the lights. Here we go. So, the way that you can't see sound traveling through the air, our experiment was able to show us the sound waves. And God's not a sound wave, but we don't see him physically. But if you listen carefully and you read his word, you can hear him. You can hear his voice directing you. Moses wasn't expecting that day. Moses was just out doing his regular chores, and he heard God's voice, and from that moment, it changed his entire life. You never know when you're going to hear God's voice and it's going to change your life forever. When he's going to tell you, go here, and you're going to go and never be able to look back and see things differently. So today, our verse is in the book of Hebrews. Hebrews is in the New Testament. Hebrews chapter 2, the big 2, and the very first verse. So, we must listen very carefully to the truth that we have heard, or we may drift away from it. You see, Moses, he wasn't ready to go to Egypt, but he listened. He heard God's voice. And yes, he does argue a little bit, and he doesn't think that he's worthy. But he listened to God's voice. So how do we do that? How do we listen to what God wants us to do? Well, first of all, we have to read his word. I know it's hard for you. You're small. But watching lessons like this, going to church, reading stories about God, those are all ways that we're going to start hearing his voice. Learning Bible verses like this one. And then praying. Nothing is too small to talk to God about. He'll hear you.
Hebrews as far as the eye can see. No matter how we oppress them, their numbers continue to grow. In a few years, there'll be more than we can handle.
We've tried everything.
Well, you haven't tried hard enough. Everywhere I look, it's Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews.
You could free a few of them.
Oh, please, Bathia, if you're going to speak nonsense, leave the room. I'm tempted to let the soldiers loose on them.
You can't do that, sir. We need the workers.
Quit telling me what I can't do and tell me what I can do.
Kill their babies.
What?
Kill every infant son born to the Hebrews.
Well done, Herath.
Oh, you're all right.
You, take your wife home. You better pray for a girl.
Papa, is it born yet?
Soon, Aaron. Soon.
It's a boy. Oh, Amram. What will we do?
Shh. We'll think of something.
They're going to kill my baby.
No.
Oh, they're going to kill my baby.
Shh. Jochebed, we won't let that happen. We won't. We'll find a way. I promise. It's time.
Wake up! Move it! Move! Get up!
I can't. I'm too sick.
I said get up.
Papa.
Now go!
Oh, my baby. Your mother loves you. She loves you so much.
Oh, slow down, Bathia. Oh, I'm not as young as you. Oh, Bathia! Oh, you mustn't go in there! Oh, there's crocodiles!
Crocodiles? Tira, have you ever seen one?
Well, no, but that's because they hide. Until it's too late, that is.
That's a silly old rumor. And you're a silly old woman. Now come on.
Well, I may be a silly old woman, but I'm alive, and no teeth marks on my legs either.
Tira. There. That's not so bad. Now is it? I wonder what that could be.
What is it? Oh, is it coming at us? Oh, does it have teeth? Oh, hello? Bathia?
It's just a basket, Tira. Reach it for me, will you? Looks like a Hebrew basket. Oh, Tira, it's a boy. A baby boy. You're safe now, little one. I'll take care of you.
Your father will never let you keep him, mistress.
I will never give him up. The gods have spared this child. Even my father will see that. No, he shall be raised as a prince in Egypt. His name shall be Moses, because he was drawn from the water.
Bathia, you have no way to feed the child.
Oh.
I know someone who could nurse the child.
Is it him? Is it really him?
God has saved our child.
Oh, my son. my son.
He's only ours for a while.
But he's alive. I mean, he'll live.
Yes. They call him Moses.
Moses. Moses.
Aaron. Come on, Aaron, you must drink.
Miriam, it's our brother, Moses.
These people are dying.
So what? They're slaves.
I know they're slaves, but if you treat them better, you'll have better workers. You may be the leader on the battlefield, Moses, but you know nothing about managing slaves. Triple their rations of water and bread.
Triple? Never.
Do it.
But it's impossible.
So is building a city with starving slaves.
I don't like it. A Hebrew ruling over us.
He should have been killed years ago. I hope you have a good reason for beating this man.
He's a troublemaker, sir.
Well, if it isn't Moses, been off fighting battles for Pharaoh while your own people die in the mud, huh? Look at me, Moses! Look at how your people suffer! Look at me!
Quiet!
No more beatings.
Well, Herath, you must admit, he's made remarkable progress.
At the cost of our nation's honor. Yes.
You're jealous.
Of whom? Your Hebrew son?
Moses is no more a Hebrew than you or I. He is a prince in Egypt, and he has made us great.
There is no greatness in treating slaves as well as a common Egyptian. For me, there's only shame. Have you heard of your son's latest achievement? He's given the Hebrews a day off, their Sabbath. I think he wishes he was one of them.
Moses, these are too old for real work. You want them to carry water or chop straw?
Send them home.
Home?
Home.
You're free to go. Get!
I said, no more beatings. Wait! Stop it, I said! Isn't there enough suffering here without beating each other?
Who made you a prince and ruler over us? What are you going to do now, Moses? Kill me? Like you killed the Egyptian?
All of this was done to spare the life of a slave.
I'm sure this can be explained.
Quiet!
Have Moses bound and brought before me.
Father!
He has gone too far. I forbid you to say one word in his defense.
She won't have to. I can speak for myself.
You have spilled Egyptian blood.
He was beating a man to death.
A slave.
A strong worker.
A worthless Hebrew.
A man. A person. A living soul.
For this crime against Egypt, you, Moses, shall be put to death.
No! Run, Moses. Run!
I'll draw the water. Make sure they stay together. We can't afford to lose one.
Hello, miss.
Who are you?
This well, those sheep, they belong to me now.
This well and these sheep belong to my father.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Now get off my property.
No!
Are you all right?
May the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob bless you. You are from Egypt.
I've crossed the desert.
Alone? Come. My father will honor you for what you've done.
Can it be there is one always near? Can that one be God? Through the darkness will one light appear? Will that one be God? Is there one who sees this people, one who cares?
Tell me, O Lord, will I ever be free? Or will these chains be my destiny? Tell me, O Lord, will a better day dawn for me? Will a better day dawn for me?
Now it's clear I am where I belong. I belong to God. I am here with a heart sure and strong. I am strong in God.
Tell me, O Lord, will I ever be free? Or will these chains be my destiny? Tell me, O Lord, will a better day dawn for me? Will a better day dawn for me?
Moses.
Here am I.
Draw closer, and put off thy shoes, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. I have seen the afflictions of my people, and I have heard their cry, and I will send you to deliver them from bondage.
Who am I that I should do this thing?
I will be with thee, Moses.
But they will not believe me.
What is that in thy hand?
A rod.
Cast it on the ground. Put forth thy hand and take it by the tail. Put thy hand into thy bosom. Now you have seen the power of God. Go and show Pharaoh.
Lord, I cannot speak well. I am slow of speech.
Who hath made man's mouth? Have not I the Lord? Go. I will give you Aaron thy brother to speak for you. Now go, Moses, and do as I command.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that experiment. It was one of my favorites. And I hope to see you next week. Bye, guys. Stay salty.